The helpful folks at Harris Ace Hardware say thank you for choosing Harris Ace as your favorite place to buy hardware and building supplies. Stop by Harris Ace Hardware and check out their weekly deals. Sign up for Ace Rewards and start earning points toward coupons and rewards. You'll even receive a $5 coupon just for signing up. Harris Ace Hardware in Jesup, Hinesville, Eulonia, and now in Brunswick. They are ready to serve your everyday building and hardware needs. Harris Ace Hardware.
It's time now for the latest in local sports. In sports, everyone involved in a high school spring sport, from players to coaches to parents and fans, remains in a holding pattern nearly a week after Georgia's high school athletics came to a halt as a precaution against the spread of the coronavirus. Unfortunately, for those looking for at least an idea of how long the hiatus will last and if there's reason to hope that any of the 2020 spring season may be salvaged, at present time, the GHSA's executive director, Dr. Robin Hines, doesn't have a clear answer, at least today. He definitely understands the frustration. He's heard from people looking for information, a frustration that he says he shares with state athletic directors. Hines says the majority of the emails and communications he receives are typically from, well, I've got quite a few kids, student athletes, and parents of seniors, and the message is loud and clear, please don't cancel this season. But he says what everyone needs to understand is that our concern is for the safety of our student athletes, also for those with whom they come in contact with. He says large groups of gatherings with parents and grandparents isn't encouraged at this time. He also says currently everything is out of the GHSA's hands. The governor has ordered the closing of all public schools until at least the end of the month. Hines says it'll be at least that long before any decision by the GHSA will be made. Hines says the GHSA is going over various scenarios in case schools do reopen. He says what happens then, that's the big question. He says the question has no easy answer. Also up in the air is the absolute deadline for the state spring sports to have any chance at all at salvaging this season. GHSA staff met Tuesday to discuss possible scenarios of the spring season and state playoffs if the school resumes in time. He says more meetings are scheduled, but again, nothing will be determined until after the 31st of March. Hines says when you see the NCAA, MLB, PGA, and other major sporting agencies shutting down, it's hard to believe that the GHSA could do anything differently. They state they'll take their guidance from the CDC, the governor, and the Board of Health. Hines says if there's any way to salvage the season, one can hope, but this time it's still wait and see. High school senior Taryn Ward was recently named the girls' 5A State Player of the Year, and we ran into her yesterday at the high school track. She continues to stay in shape, preparing to play for the Georgia Southern Eagles, as she says she's verbally committed to play for the Georgia Southern Eagles next year. Here's Taryn Ward with the news of signing with the Eagles and her reaction to being named Georgia's 5A Girls State Player of the Year.
Taryn Ward, the State Player of the Year in 5A girls basketball. How does that sound?
Unreal. I was so shocked when Coach Hobbs told me the news.
Well, you had a great year. Average over 24 points a game. Great year. Lost to Buford, the eventual state champions, but you got to see their beautiful gym, and you played well up there. So, again, the big question is, where's Taryn Ward going? Have you narrowed it down? Have you nailed it down? What's the story?
As of right now, I have committed to Georgia Southern.
Yeah? Well,
yes.
That's good. So when's the big signing day? They got a signing ceremony set?
Well, I'm supposed to sign April 15th up there. But I don't know about Wayne County because you know the virus going on.
All right. Well, again, that's great news. So I guess your parents are happy about that, right up the road. Wayne County fans will get to come see it. And it's nice to see that Wayne County athletes sign at Georgia Southern. It's been a while, so it'll be nice to see it. They're playing for the Eagles.
Yes, sir. I chose that school so y'all could come watch me play.
Well, I'm definitely going to do that. Tell us about how it was playing for Coach Hobbs these past 4 years. Everybody knows what a great coach he is, but what has she taught you in these 4 years?
She taught me about mindset, about not showing my emotions on the court when I get frustrated, and she always pushed me to be my best potential.
Well, again, looking back on your career, anything that stands out? Any particular game? Any performance?
When I played Dodge and I made 41 points. That's it.
That's a big night. Well, again, congratulations on the honor. Truly deserving. 5A State Player of the Year in girls basketball, going to Georgia Southern. So congratulations on a great year, and look forward to the signing.
Thank you so much.
Again, those comes a senior Taryn Ward again deciding to go to take her talents at Georgia Southern. Girls varsity basketball coach Kayla Haas provided the stats on her senior year. She averaged 24 points per game in region play, 10 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals every game. Led the region in rebounds and scoring for the last 2 years and scored over 1,000 points her senior season. Again, congratulations to senior Taryn Ward, again named this week the girls 5A State Player of the Year. Again, headed to Georgia Southern after graduation. New Orleans Saints coach Sean Payton has stated that he has tested positive for the coronavirus. He's the first NFL person known to test positive for the virus. Payton says he didn't feel well Sunday, took the test Monday, received the test results on Thursday. Peyton says he's resting at home, fatigued, but he says he's part of the 20% of cases that have no fever and no cough. He says he'll remain quarantined in his home for the next week, but he says he feels upbeat and optimistic of a full recovery. Other NFL news, Todd Gurley's been cut by the LA Rams. He was set to receive about a $10 million bonus check if he was still on the roster at 5 p.m. Thursday. Gurley free to sign with any team. Another quarterback on the market is the Broncos. After just 1 year, have waived Joe Flacco, a former Super Bowl MVP with the Ravens. He joins several veteran quarterbacks still looking for work. Eagles land cornerback Darius Slay from Detroit. The former Brunswick Pirates star reaches a 3-year deal with the Philadelphia Eagles. Finally, in sports, this from our Wayne County Recreation Department and Rec Director Lamar Eccles, who will be on our guest this coming Monday on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, to stress that there are no organized activities or sporting events taking place at the ball fields here in Wayne County. If teams are practicing, they're doing it on their own and not by the direction of the Recreation Department. The fields are open, but again, nothing is being organized by the Rec Department. Apparently, the Rec Department is being unfairly attacked by some, thinking they have organized events taking place during this pandemic, but they have not. And anyone using the ball field is doing it simply on their own and not under the guidance or direction of the Rec Director or the Recreation Department. Again, Lamar Speck Eccles will join us Monday. He'll have all the pertinent information regarding recreation sports in Wayne County on Monday's Butch and Bob Show. That's going to do it for the latest in local sports. Sports is brought to you each and every day at this time by friends at Harris Ace Hardware.
And then along came Walker Jones.
It's the grand opening of the brand new Walker Jones Honda store on Memorial Drive in Waycross. And we're celebrating with grand opening pricing, new facility, new state-of-the-art service center, and new Hondas for less than you thought possible. We're talking Civic, Insight, Accord, and Odyssey, Clarity, Fit, CRV, and HRV, Passport, Pilot, Ridgeline, and